What's up, y'all? I'm gonna break down this Sandhagen versus Figueiredo card for y'all real quick. We got 12 fights. I'm gonna try to break them down. 2 minutes at the most. I tend to go overboard, but fuck it. I'm gonna lead y'all to the promised land on this card. I see some pretty good bets. Not a really exciting card from like on paper, but I see some pretty good bets though. All right, so for this first fight, according to Tapology, we got Ivana Petrovic 7-2 versus Leon Miller 3-3. Her record is 3-3. This is at women's 125 pound. I'm gonna first off say Juliana Miller is the worst fighter in the UFC by far. She is one of the worst fighters in the UFC. She's 28 years old. She's 5'7". She's 1-2 in the UFC. Her one win is actually on the tough from the tough finale. So the fighter that she beat wasn't even in the UFC. This was just somebody who won on some tournament, which was a weak season, by the way. Her two losses are to Veronica Hardy and Luana Santos. To be fair, they probably both beat Ivana Petrovic as well, but they smoked her. Leona Miller is one of those fighters where if she doesn't get her game plan off, she just looks horrible. She's a jiu-jitsu girl, not even a wrestler. She can't really do much takedowns, but if she doesn't get her game going, she looks bad. Think of like a Paul Craig. Think of somebody like not necessarily. She's not even a one-trick pony. She just can't really fight. She has no hands. She can't scrap. Ivana Petrovic, on the other hand, she's from Norway. She's 30 years old. She's 5'8". Decent tall girl. She's 5'8". She's 1-2 UFC as well. One loss to Luana Carolina, who's not bad. Luana Carolina is not a bad fighter at all. And she had lost a split decision to Jamie Lynn Horton. And she beat Nali Yang, who's Nali Yang is literally just some she's literally just kill or be killed. Literally, she I don't think that girl has a win in the UFC, but Ivana Petrovic finished her. And for what it's worth, she beat Melissa Mullins on the amateur scene. Melissa Mullins is a fighter who's in the UFC as well, who can actually fight. She's a better fighter than Juliana Miller. Everybody that Ivana Petrovic has fought is better than Juliana Miller. She outfought. If she fights to the level that she fought at her past fights, her past UFC fights, she'll beat Juliana Miller. Juliana Miller is not a good fighter. Ivana Petrovic isn't the best fighter as well. She's not a world beater, but she's a fighter that is capable of beating Juliana Miller, I believe. And yeah, that's who I'm gonna go. She's more well rounded. She just has to avoid dangerous positions. She can't give up her back because this is a jiu-jitsu girl. There's always that danger. She just has to stick to her game plan. Don't play that ground shit. She can piece her up on the feet and win a smooth 30-27 decision. So I'm gonna go Ivana Petrovic. Second fight. This is low level fight. We already know the low level heavyweights are some of the most least skilled fighters in the UFC. We'll say that much. These guys will kick my ass, but this isn't a high level fight. We got Dontel Mays 11-8 versus Thomas Petersen 9-3. Dontel, 33 years old, 6'6", 4-6-1 UFC record. This man has 11 UFC fights. He's on a 2-fight skid. He just got heel hooked by Walter Walker. Fucking Johnny Walker's ogre little brother from Russia, some shit like that. And then he lost to Shamil Vamil Ghazi. He lost a unanimous decision. And then prior to that, he beat Kyle Machado. Then he lost to Rodrigo Nascimento. Then he finished Andre Arlovsky. Very inconsistent fighter. And then we got Thomas Petersen, 30 years old, 6'1". So Dontel Mays is much taller than him. His UFC record is 1-2. He just got finished by Shamil Vamil. So the same guy that Dontel Mays went to a decision with, he got cooked by him, but he still went to decision with him. Thomas Petersen just got finished by him. He got dusted. Before that, he beat Kamaru Usman's little brother, Mo Usman, and then before that, he got pieced up by that guy Jamal Pose, that literally just a fat 205er. He got boxed up by him. Thomas Petersen is minus 245 in this fight. Doesn't really make sense to me. Dontel Mays isn't somebody that's really going to be. I mean, you can't really trust him, honestly. He's very consistent. Sometimes he just strikes. He's like lightning. He just strikes. Like when he knocked out Arlovsky, nobody was expecting that. It just came out of nowhere. Like he wasn't even winning the fight. It just kind of just happened. And yeah, I mean, this is a nice DJ bet. I mean, Thomas Petersen minus 245. Who is he worth? I can't see. I can't see anybody. Thomas Petersen should be a 2-1 favorite over. Like not even in the lower level UFC. I'm sorry, I can't. So I don't know. As far as a pick, I'm gonna go Dontel Mays, bro. He's 6'6". Thomas Petersen is 6'1", bro. Like, are you gonna wrestle him? I'm sure the odds have gone down by the time I even see this. This is from Bovada, but yeah, Dontel Mays. All right, so men's bantamweight, we got Gaston Bolanos 8-4 record versus Quang Lee 8-2. I don't really care for this fight, honestly. I'm probably gonna go smoke when it's happening. Bolanos, he's a Peruvian kickboxer, 32 years old, 5'7", 2-1 UFC record. He got cooked in his one loss against Marcus McGee. I already knew that was gonna happen. Shout out to Marcus McGee. I parlayed the hell out of him in that fight. I already knew he was gonna smoke him. And but I mean, nonetheless, he's a decent kickboxer. It's just not Marcus McGee's good. You know, he beats most guys in the division. Aaron Phillips, he beat him, which is an easy win, and then he beat Protavious Romeus, which I was impressed by. He grappled in that fight. He grappled the grappler, which was really cool. He was able to reverse sort of positions and get top control. So he's not just a kickboxer. He can grapple. I think he's getting better at MMA. He's getting better. Quang Lee from Vietnam, 33 years old. Okay, so he's from Vietnam, but it says he fights out of Minnesota on Typology. I don't know who any of these guys train with, by the way. So yeah, 33 years old, 5'6". He has an 0-2 record. He lost to Long Zhao. Long Zhao, I don't know, he's a vicious Chinese dude. He was on Long Zhao came from Road to Glory. That dude, he's one of those Chinese dudes who has like tons of fights. Like every once in a while, you see those Chinese dudes who got like 30 fights. He just got pieced up by him. He just got hurt. Like that guy just was just way more vicious than him. And he lost to Chris Gutierrez. Well, to be fair, Chris Gutierrez, he beats Gaston Bolanos too. Chris Gutierrez beats Quang Lee and Gaston Bolanos in the same night. Like literally 6 rounds, 3. Both of these guys 3-3 back to back. He beats both of these dudes. Gaston Bolanos is minus 160 favorite. Quang Lee is plus 135. I gotta go Gaston Bolanos just off rip. I mean, I could look wrong. Quang Lee does have like 4 or 5 submission finishes, so I feel like if somebody really wants to just go out there and sub Gaston Bolanos, they can. If they really just go out there and just with the sole game plan of just subbing him, like taking him down, subbing him. He is a kickboxer. Like he has a bunch of kickboxing fights. I don't know what Quang Lee's trying to do, but if he's not grappling, I see him getting tuned up. I just see him getting pieced up from bell to bell. So I gotta go with Gaston Bolanos just because I don't know much about Quang Lee and I've never seen him. I mean, maybe he turns into Quang Nurmagomedov and just does his thing, but if not, then I gotta go Gaston Bolanos. Okay, so I like this next fight. Women's 115. Oh, there's no men's 115, obviously. So strawweight Mariana Rodriguez 17-5-2 record versus G.Robertson 15-8 record. I like Julia Robertson a lot. Like, not even just in this fight, but just as a fighter. Like, she's good. Just the way she's able to go out there and implement her game plan. She's very dominant. She's stronger than a lot of these girls. She's 29 years old, 12-6 UFC record, so she's got the majority of her fights in UFC. She literally grew up in the promotion. She's 4-1 since coming to 115. She spent the majority of her career at 125. Basically most of her losses are at 125. She beat Luana Pinheiro at 115, Michelle Watterson at 115, Poliana Viana, and Pierre Rodriguez. And her only loss at 115 is Tabitha Ricci, she's very good as well. She's top of the pack as well. And then just to give you a perspective on her losses, she lost to Mayra Bueno Silva, who fought for a title. She fought Macy Barber, who's top of the line at flyweight. Talia Santos, top of the line at flyweight. Miranda Maverick, top of the line at flyweight. Strong girls. And JJ Aldrich, not that good, but just a bigger girl, just stronger. These are all at 125. So yeah, at 115, Jillian Robertson, she's OP. She's climbing up the rankings. We got Mariana Rodriguez. She's 37, so we got an 8-year difference. 7-5-2 UFC record. She's on a 2-fight skid. She lost to Yasmin Lucindo, split decision loss, and she lost to Jessica Andrade, split decision loss. She beat Michelle Watterson by strikes. Okay, you're supposed to do that. And then before that, she lost to Verna Jandarova, a.k.a. Verna Nurmagomedov, and she got finished by Amanda Lemos with some hooks. Marina Rodriguez, she's not who we thought who she used to be. 2021, 2022, she was on a 4-fight win streak. That's when she beat Reboss, finished her. She beat Watterson for the first time. She beat Dern by decision, and she beat Yan Janat. That's not her anymore. She's 37 years old now. And then we saw what happened when somebody wanted to go out there and take her down and dominate her. That's what Verna Jandarova did. This is what Jillian Robertson's about to do. And that's why her price tag is minus 310. And at the time of this video, Jillian Robertson is a 3-1 favorite. Because you know what she's about to do. You know what she's about to do. Jillian Robertson is stronger than her. Jillian Robertson, she's not getting finished. She's fighting. She's already fought bigger girls. Like, she's beating up bigger girls already from her days at flyweight. And yeah, I think that's what she's about to do. She's about to cover her price tag and really just maul this girl. So I gotta go Jillian Robertson off rip, aka Jillian Nurmagomedov. Okay, so for this next fight at middleweight 185, we got Osman Bekoev, 19-3 record versus Ryan Loder, 7-1 record. Ryan Loder, he's one of those guys came up. He won off of the Ultimate Fighter. He beat that guy Robert Mountain, that dude who just got dusted on the ground by Torres Finney. Didn't even get dusted, but just got controlled. And then yeah, Ryan Loder, he's 6'2", grappler. I don't know too much about him. I know he trains with Fluffy Hernandez, Anthony Hernandez, and he trains with what's that other guy? The 175-pound fighter. I don't know. I can't remember his name for the life of me. I follow him on Instagram. But yeah, he's training with actual UFC fighters. He's he's strong. He's a good grappler. Then this guy Osman Bekoev, 29 years old, Russian. He just dusted Zach Reese. This dude is strong as hell. Osman Bekoev is a beast. He's one of those guys that came from ACA. You look at his record. He's fighting high-level guys his whole career. His 3 losses are the guys that could easily fight in the UFC. There's tons of guys over there in Russia that they could fight in the UFC, but they just aren't. They're just not there for whatever reason. The UFC could just easily be oversaturated with just strong-ass Russians who hit hard as fuck, who can fight, or who can wrestle really good too, easily. There's guys out here that could just be, flooding the top rank. But yeah, I think Osman Bekoev dusts this dude. Honestly, there is a world where Ryan Loder gets his game plan off and grapples him and takes him down. But I'm telling you, watch Bekoev, watch his past fights, or even the UFC past before UFC. The only thing I have on him, the only knock on him, is that he has a split decision loss to Dylan Butker, which is atrocious. Like, I haven't seen the fight, but if you're going life or death with Dylan Butker, I don't know, man. I really don't know. That's why I'm not like putting too much stock in him just yet, because Zach Reese is a glass cannon. He is getting, he's either killing or being killed. That's how he is, and he got killed against Bekoev. But yeah, Bekoev is a minus 380 favorite. Loder's plus 290. Loder, I mean, I don't know, man. He doesn't even have 10 fights. He's 33 years old. I'm not too sure how much stock I can put in him, so I got to go with the 29-year-old pissed off Russian with over 20 fights. Yeah, got to go with that. Okay, so yeah, this next fight, also smoke break. The worst division in the UFC. Women's bantamweight. Yana Santos, 15-8 versus Miesha Tate, 20-9. Can't believe both of these girls are under 40. Miesha Tate, 38, 7-6 record. She beat Julia Avila almost 2 years ago. Before that, she lost to Lauren Murphy, who, fun fact, used to be on drugs. Shout out to her for overcoming drug addiction. Oh yeah, drug addiction, and then fighting for a title. That's pretty cool, I guess. And then before that, she lost to Caitlin Vieira. Yana Santos, 35, 5-5 record. She beat Chelsea Handler. Okay, they're supposed to do that. And then before that, she was on the 3-fight losing streak. I don't know if you bet on this fight. You probably need to go get help. Well, I mean, fuck it. Honestly, I'll probably throw it in like a $1 BGN parlay. I'll put a couple Jubilees on it. But I don't know. I guess Miesha Tate. Wouldn't be surprised if she gets held against the cage for like 15 minutes. But yeah, Miesha Tate, I guess. All right, this is a pretty random fight, but Jeremy Stephens, 29 wins, 21 losses is his record. versus Mason Jones, 15-2. Jeremy Stephens, 38, 5'9". Low-key, I ain't gonna lie. Jeremy Stephens is one of my favorite fighters, but I don't even know why he's back in UFC. Like, it doesn't make sense, but that's cool that he's back. His most recent activity is three-fight win streak from bare knuckle, and one of those wins is Eddie Alvarez. And then before that, he went to a draw with Jose Aldo in boxing, and then he went 1-2 in PFL. Not sure who he lost. I forgot who it was. I know one of the losses was Clay Collard, who's like pretty good, but he went to he won like a split decision against a guy with like an 11-8 record, and then he lost to somebody else. I can't remember who it was, but his PFL run was atrocious. And then before that, he was on a 5-fight losing streak in UFC. Granted, this is who he was losing to. He got finished by Gamrot. He got finished by Cater. He lost to Yair. He lost to Zabit, and then he lost to Aldo. So that's a pretty legendary 5-fight losing streak. Like that's pretty gnarly. And then this is how crazy. This show you how old Jeremy Stephens is. His win streak is when he finished Josh Emmett. He beat Korean Superboy. I'm not sure what his Korean name is, what his actual name is, but Korean Superboy. And then Gilbert Melendez. This motherfucker, his last win streak includes Gil Melendez. Bro, that is crazy. That is diabolical. That is, yeah. Whew, that's wild. Anyway, Mason Jones. Also, Jeremy Stephens, who the fuck? That guy too. Like, bro, that's the same guy. This motherfucker was in the UFC when Conor McGregor was like in the UFC. That's wild. Mason Jones, 30 years old, 5'10" from Wales. By the way, Welsh fighters are very good. Welsh fighters are very disciplined fighters. Like, you really got to come with it when you're fighting them. They all know how to wrestle. They all know how to strike. They all do like karate and shit. They're good. That little small country produces good fighters. He's on a 4-fight win streak from Cage Warriors. 3 out of those 4 wins are finishes. His UFC record is 1-2-1. His one no contest should have been a win, so he should be 2-2 UFC record. He was beating a guy, and then there was like some kind of weird eye poke or something. Brazilian guy cowered his way out. Said, "Oh, I can't go, my eye hurts." You know that deal. Cody Brundage his way to a win, basically. But then he went to a decision with Ludovic Klein, which shows you like he not getting hit and getting flatlined or some bullshit. He took a beating in that Ludovic Klein fight. He lost to Mike Davis. Mike Davis is a savage too. That's not a bad loss either. And then he beat David Onama in David Onama's first UFC fight. He welcomed David Onama to the UFC, and he took some shots in that fight too. But he survived. He wrestled. Then we got through the win, and that's what he could do here potentially too. Worst comes to worst, but I think he beats Jeremy Stephens any way this shit goes. Jeremy Stephens is old. He's slow. He's 8-year difference in age. Mason Jones is a 5-1 favorite at the time of this. Minus 585, so almost 6-1 favorite to Jeremy Stephens being plus 410. Jeremy Stephens loses, and Mason Jones is honestly one of those guys one of the rare occasions where he got cut when he shouldn't have been cut. That happens sometimes. Guys get cut when they shouldn't have been cut. You know, they still could compete. Mason Jones could beat a lot of these guys that are still in the UFC. A lot of these guys in that 155-pound division. So, yeah, Mason Jones rolls here. All right, so bantamweight division, we got Cameron Smotherman, 12-4 UFC record versus Sidhey, 11-2 UFC record, or 11-2 overall record. Cam Smotherman is 27 years old, 5'9", so he's a tall bantamweight. 1-0 record. He beat Jake Hadley in his UFC debut, which is a good performance by him. He put on a lot of pressure. He kind of smothered Jake Hadley. Had Jake Hadley on his foot the whole time. I did see him kind of get rocked a little bit in that last round, but nonetheless, he did his thing. You know, Jake Hadley's not a bad boxer, and to be able to, just walk through him and just beat him all 3 rounds like that was pretty good. He comes from a good gym. He trains with Adrian Yanez and Rafion Stotts and over there with Coach Yves Edwards. So he's getting good looks. He's getting good rounds. He's getting good coaching. The dude's good. I don't think he moves his head a lot. I know there was a fight. He beat a guy, Ryan Cuse, on the regional scene. Ryan Cuse is also a decent. he's a decent fighter as well. I'm sure he's a guy that actually used to fight 145. So Cam Smotherman, he's a strong fighter. I think this fight, he it was a controversial fight. I'm pretty sure he was getting pieced up. I'm pretty sure he got hurt a lot that fight, or not even hurt, but he was just getting he got outclassed, but he was able to win a controversial decision. And yeah, I see a word where he gets touched up um, by a guy that can really strike pretty good. That's just the only weakness I see. I don't think he moves his head the best, but he's just strong and he's there. Sidhey is 28 years old, 5'11", so he's damn near 6 foot tall at bantamweight. He's a tall bantamweight. So they're gonna look like lightweights in the cage, or not lightweights. They're gonna look like featherweights in the cage almost. This guy's a Canadian guy, but I guess he's Ukrainian as well. He's a 1-1 UFC record. He beat Armfield, but on record he said he feels like he didn't deserve to win that fight. So he could easily be 0-2 in the UFC. He lost to Ramon Tavares, which is a rematch from a controversial finish that he had on Dana White Contender Series. So they rematched it on Ramon Tavares' or they rematched it on both of their UFC debuts, and Ramon Tavares won. He won it when they spun it back. I see Sidhey did his camp at MMA Lab, so he's getting rounds with Marcus McGee, who I mentioned earlier. Yeah, I think that's good for him. I guess it takes a while to really digest the culture of the gym. I know, like, MMA Lab guys are really cerebral. They're really good strikers. They can all wrestle. They're really all-around fighters. I don't know if Sidhey is like that now. I don't know if he's just adopted that culture now. But, just to know that he's been getting those kind of looks and those kind of that kind of coaching is good. I don't know who to go with this fight. I see at the time of this video, Sidhey was like a minus 147 on Bovada odds. Smotherman was plus 127. I don't know. I guess it's going to be a really close fight regardless. Sidhey seems to get the close fights. And so does Cam Smotherman. He seems to have really close fights too. I guess I got to go Sidhey. I'll go with Sidhey. Just him putting out more and Cam just kind of being hittable. So I'll go with Sidhey. I'm really looking forward to this fight right here. Montel Jackson, 14-2 record versus Daniel Marcos, undefeated 17-0. This is at bantamweight 135. Montel Jackson, I wish this guy fought more. This is one of my favorite fighters in UFC. He's one of my favorite active fighters. 33 years old, 5'10" from Milwaukee, man. This man is from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 8-2 UFC record. His 2 losses are really good losses. Brett Johns, like I'm saying, one of those Welsh fighters, really disciplined Welsh fighter. And he lost to Ricky Simon. This is years ago, of course, because Montel Jackson doesn't fight that much. But 8-2 UFC record. And, he's beaten some cans like J.P. Bays, Jesse Strader, Ronnie Yaya. Ronnie Yaya's not a can. Julio Arce's not a can. He one-punched Damon Blackshear. This man's last one, he one-punched Damon Blackshear, bro. What? Yeah, Montel Jackson is a dark horse in this division. He's somebody you really need to be worried about, like for real. That's when if you get offered his name, yeah, I think you're unlucky. Montel Jackson can wrestle. For one, he drops everybody. He drops everybody he fights. I don't know if he dropped Ricky Simon, but in his loss, he dropped Brett Johns, and he's dropped everybody in his wins. He either knocks you out or drops you in all his wins. He's a very good wrestler. He can wrestle really good. He's like a high level wrestler. I'm sure. Like I heard, like at one point he was wrestling at like he was training at the UFC, not the UFC, Olympic Center for Wrestling. Like he had aspirations of wrestling collegiately. So he's at that level. He could have potentially wrestled collegiately. You can at least bet on that. And he's not KO or bust either. He is not a one trick pony. He can go the full distance of a fight. He's very patient. He's not low volume, but he's patient. He's not overly reliant on his power, but he trusts his power. He doesn't throw too much in there. He's really chill and always very calm, even when you have his back. JP Bays had his back, and he was very calm. Daniel Marcos, 32 years old, 5'7", from Peru. 4-0-1 UFC record. This guy's cutting it close, man. He cuts it really close. Split decision win against Adrianes. He got a win over John Castaneda, and he got a split decision win over Davey Grant. He finished Saman Oliveira, which is his only UFC finish, and he got like a no contest against Orichi Lang, that Mongolian guy who just he pops up every once in a while. Yeah, Marcos is one of those guys where, like, if you put him in a list of all the undefeated guys, he's at the bottom of that list. You know, almost like a Leron Murphy. It's like his day is coming. You know, like Leron Murphy, he's very good. Don't get me wrong, he's very good. But when you compare Leron Murphy to like some of the guys, the top guys in the division who are undefeated, you don't see him beating them cleanly. You know, it's like, okay, it's just a matter of when he fights somebody better than him. You know, he's not like basically an undefeated guy who you can't see being champ. That's the way I put it. Yes, Dale Marcos is 17-0, but do you see Dale Marcos beating a Marab? Hell no. You know, and I'm not trying to put anything against him for being undefeated, but yeah, I can see Montel Jackson knocking him out. He's a 2-1 favorite from the time of this video, or according to Bovada odds, unless they change overnight. But yeah, -225 to Dale Marcos is +185. We're undefeated, and somebody's a 2-1 favorite over you. That says a lot. And I see Montel Jackson is beating him. Just stylistically, he's a bad matchup for Marcos. Because even if things go bad for him and he can't handle the power, he can't wrestle him. You know, he's not gonna be able to wrestle him. You know, Marcos is going out there and just taking guys down and mauling them, and you know he doesn't have outstanding jiu-jitsu or outstanding power as well. You know, he just got decent kickboxing. He just does enough to just win fights at times. But I don't see him doing much or overwhelming Montel Jackson in any kind of way. So this next fight, this is kind of an uncle fight, I guess. Welterweight, we got Santiago Ponzinibs, 38, or he's 38 years old, and he's got 38 fights. He's 30-8, and he's fighting M.Rodriguez, who's 18-5, also 38 years old. Ponzinibs, 12-7 UFC record. He got knocked out by his losses are knockouts from Jing Liang, split decision loss to Jeff Neal. He lost to Michelle Pereira, lost split decision. He got slept by Kevin Holland. He got a split decision loss to Salikov. So that's just the guys he's losing to. And he just knocked out Carlson Harris. And he finished Alex Morano in a fight where he was losing as well. D.Rod, 84 UFC record. He's only 84 because he hasn't fought that much. You get guys in UFC record. You get guys who in 170 who have decent records who don't fight that much. Like Elizu Zaleski. He had a decent UFC record too. He's like, you know, like 8-2, 8-3, something like that. Then he goes out and loses to Chitty. So like 8-4 UFC record. Don't, you know, it's not. Don't get it confused with anything more than what it should be. Yeah, I see Ponzinibs just going out there and beating him just because he wants it more. Rodriguez just seems really passive. I guess there is a world where he just outboxes Ponzinibs and just cruises to a decision. Because, I mean, there's no takedown threat here. D.Rod, he just beat Alex Morano by decision. By split decision, I guess. I'm not sure if it was a robbery or not. Don't really remember how that fight went. Don't really care enough to watch it. Not watching tape on Dan Rodriguez. He before that he lost to Kelvin Gastelum. Then before that he got finished by Ian Gary and Neil Magny. Getting finished by Neil Magny is crazy. Shout out to Mike Maylot. Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll go Ponzinibs just because like I feel like he'd want it more. So yeah, and it's an even money fight. So yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think Ponzinibs is like minus like 110 or some shit like that. All right, so for this next fight, kind of excited for it. Not because like, oh, holy shit, these are my favorite fighters, but just excited just to see what's gonna happen. Middleweight, we got Rainer De Ritter, 19-2, versus Bobert Nickal, 7-0 UFC record, or 7-0 overall record. Rainer De Ritter, 34 years old, 6'4". This is a big Dutchman. He's from the Netherlands, world class jiu-jitsu. This man was a 3-division champion over there in ONE FC, which is crazy. How the fuck do you let a guy win 3 of your belts? Like, anybody in that division is any of those 3 divisions, like, you're pussy, bro. Except for the guy that eventually came and beat him, because he was a 185-pound champion, lightweight champion, and heavyweight champion. Until an actual heavyweight came over and finished him, which is what his 2 losses are from. His 2 losses are from an actual heavyweight from Russia that was like, fuck you, bro. And they were pretty vicious. Like, they were pretty brutal. Like, the way he lost was pretty, like, degrading. Like, he was like, it was like a, like I said, it was kind of like a Paul Craig kind of loss. Like, where he was just like on his back, like, help me. But, yeah, this dude has way more experience than Bobert. He just finished Kevin Holland, which you're supposed to do that when if Kevin Holland is fighting anybody that is a middleweight that can grapple, you should be Kevin Holland. And then he subbed Mearshart. Yeah, he subbed Gerald Mearshart, which is really good. That means you're really good at jiu-jitsu if you can do that. But he also, it's like 3rd round or something like that. Mearshart was just hella tired, and he got him the fuck out of there. So Bobert, 29 years old, 6'1". One thing about this dude, he's looking worse and worse every fight. Like, he doesn't look like he's improving, and that's because he's not getting fast tracked, but he's fighting actual fighters. Like, Bo is a really good athlete, but he's fighting actual fighters. He's fighting guys that are good at martial arts, guys that are specialists at a certain thing and can do other things, and that seems like enough to make Bo look mid. You know, like Paul Craig has good jiu-jitsu, kind of cancels out Bo's wrestling. Bo's forced to strike. Bo's a good athlete. Bo doesn't understand the concept, the ins and outs of striking yet. Yes, he hits hard and he's strong, but striking IQ, timing, distancing, distance. It there's a lot of things that makes you a good striker. Paul Craig isn't a good striker, but he has a lot of UFC fights, so he kind of understands those things because he has to kind of implement his game plan and get close and grapple whatever. Bo's day is coming. It is coming. When his day is coming, it's going to be obvious. It's almost obvious here because all that minus 1,000 bullshit's out the window. All that shit's out the window. He's minus 290 at the time, or when I looked last time, which is last night. He's probably gonna be less than that. He's gonna be less than that. All that minus 1,800, minus 1,800 bullshit is over for Bo Nickal. We know what's up with him now. If you're, he's not a 3. He's Bo as a 3-1 favorite is basically like minus like 160. That's 160. Minus 290 for Bo Nickal is crazy though. And I don't know. I kind of want to take a dog shot on Rainer. This is a fight where you look either really, really, really right or really, really, really wrong. I don't really care because I'm not gonna bet on this fight. I don't bet on fights like I mean I will bet on it like a couple Jubilees, couple nickels, couple rusty dimes, but yeah, this isn't the type of fighter where I really want to bet actual U.S. dollar. Like I don't know. I don't really care. I don't care for either one of these dudes too much. I just kind of want to see what happens because I know Bo Nickal has a ceiling. We just haven't really seen it unless he, he's a smart kid. Unless he puts it all together and because he's the type of wrestler to where he can build around that. He can build a world. He can become a really good striker around his wrestling just because he doesn't have to worry about his ground game. He can really heavily invest on his striking. But I'm gonna go with Rainier de Ritter. Just being able to strike with Bo comfortably. He can really let his hands go here. He can let his hands go, and if it goes to go to the ground, I feel like anybody that really lets their hands go against Bo and who's bigger like this can really. I'm not expecting him to go out and go full Dutch kickboxing on him, but just kind of minimize Bo, make Bo look kind of mid. Because I don't think Bo can go out there and really put out a real striking masterclass. But I think Rainier can actually go out there and put enough out there. He can put enough out there in space just to win the fight at least. If you have over 20 fights, more than double him in experience. So I'm going to go with RDR. So for the main event, we got Sandhagen, 33 years old, 5'11", 10-4 UFC record. Versus Deveison Figueiredo. I think Deveison's like 22-4, 22-5, something like that. Deveison's 37 years old, 5'5". That's crazy, bro. Sandhagen is 5'11", fighting a 5'5" former flyweight, which explains the price. Sandhagen, last time I checked, he was minus 470. We got this cerebral, one of the smartest strikers in the division of all time. One of the, honestly, damn near, I'd have to put him over Dominic Cruz, bro. Just because Dominic Cruz won a belt, and Sandhagen beats Dominic Cruz, bro, in my opinion. He hits harder than him, and he's just as smart. He's just as cerebral as a striker. But, bro, I fuck with Sandhagen. Sandhagen is one of my favorite fighters as well. I know I've been saying that a lot, but he is one of my favorite fighters, like, active right now. He beat Umar. Or no, sorry. Here's his loss. He got 5 losses. Okay, outside of his loss to Jamal Emmers when he was like a baby, he lost to Umar, Jan, TJ Dillashaw, and Aljo. Like, bro, it's a crazy resume, bro. He's one of the best of all time without a belt. And then he beats Rob Font. He beat Chito. He beat Song Yadong, and he executed my boy Frankie Edgar. He even has a win over fucking Mario Batista, which ages really good. And then Figgy, 13-4-1 in the UFC. His 2 losses are to Brandon Moreno and Peter Yan, which is dope. His only good win in this division is against Cheeto. And he beat Cody Garbrandt. Yeah, he beat Rob Font. He beat Moreno at one point. Then he also has a win over Pantoja, the current champion of his last division. Sandhagen rolls here, bro. He's about to finish this dude. Well, no, I won't say he finishes him, but he definitely does whatever he wants. In the realm of striking. So yeah, Sandhagen easily. That's the end of the card. Let's make some money. Let's hit 5, 6, 7 fight parlays. We're gonna at least hit like our easy picks, but I'm trying to hit 90, 100% of the picks for real. Good luck.